Sam. So good afternoon. For those that don't know me, my name's John Stokes. Panel beater, and not like unlike many of you here, I spent multiple years developing my craft before transitioning onto production management, estimating and general management. And 3 years ago I was blessed with the opportunity to become a trainer at PartsCheck, and now I get to work with people whom I empathise with totally, you guys. I know this event's for the younger generation, so just for the sake of this event, let's just say that I'm 29 years of age, but I've got 19 years experience at it, and if anyone needs any more evidence than that, you can talk to my wife. She'll probably tell you I rarely act my age. But it was during my time as an estimator and a production manager that PartsCheck became a very normal part of my everyday. And when I say normal, we've talked about normal and weird a little bit today, it ties in with what Mike Wonky, a comedian many years ago, said. Normal can only be normal when it happens when a normal thing is supposed to happen. For if a weird thing happens when a normal thing is supposed to happen, it's obviously weird. But think about it, if a weird thing were to happen when a weird thing is supposed to happen, that becomes totally normal. You see, about a year ago, I ran a half marathon for the first time. It was quite slow, and in the process of training, I learned some very weird things that runners do. A runner's sense of fun might be completely different to normal people. My colleagues will tell you that getting up at 3 AM to go for a 2-hour run is really weird. It's also weird for guys to be wearing band-aids on their nipples to stop chafing, apparently. And also being intently interested in the colour of one's urine is quite a weird thing, but it's a great way to remember that you need to drink. And also bathroom breaks not actually requiring a bathroom, aka the poo jogger. It's very weird, it's also quite disgusting. And if you ever want to know which runner, or in Gavin's case, cyclist, that needs to use a bathroom and they can't find one, look at the guy finishing with only one sock on. Why do I make this point though? For some in the industry, maybe some in this room, using innovation like PartsCheck could appear quite weird. But for those same repairers, spending hours on the phone, emailing, looking for line by line, it's quite normal. Also grabbing a calculator out, working out profit margins, what the insurance company will allow on certain insurance claims, that can also be very normal for them as well. So is actually sitting down trying to work out the ETAs and supplier notes, juggling production schedules, having to ring customers, put them off. It's all quite normal. But for myself and probably 2,000 other repairers nationally, also in Malaysia and South Africa now, all this time that you spend is quite weird. So it's really weird when you think about there's actually an alternative, and the alternative is actually smart, simple and streamlined. And the really weird part about all this that we talk about, PartsCheck's completely free for you, the repairer. Has anyone in here ever heard of what they call the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon? And I looked it up, it's also known as the frequency effect. In its simplest form, it's when you experience something for the very first time, or you see something, and all of a sudden, you'll start to see it again and again and again. For my colleague Priscilla that's here with me today, she experienced this when she was naming her first child, Lexi, and straight away she said, I started seeing that name all over the place. For my oldest daughter, despite my objections, she bought a Soul Red Mazda 3. Now she sees that model car and that colour everywhere she goes. For PartsCheck users, we often hear that they say the first time they heard about PartsCheck was on a parts invoice. It might have been a phone call from us, it could have been an email. For you, it could be the fact that you've seen our flyer in front of you today. I encourage you to have a look at that as well. It's an opportunity for you guys to win a lunch, I should say, for all your colleagues at work. Fill that out as well. But it also might have been at an iCar course that you heard about it, or reading the latest Paint Panel magazine when you were registering for this event. So PartsCheck, we hope, will not only become your new Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, you'll start to see it everywhere, but we do actually hope that it becomes your business's new parts phenomenon as well. For those that like stats, this last 5 minutes we've been chatting, a typical PartsCheck user has the ability to send out quotes to say 6 separate, parts quotes for 6 separate jobs, up to 10 suppliers each. So that's 60 opportunities for suppliers to respond with the part number, prices, part type, options, any notes, delays. In that same 5 minutes, so if you'd send all those quotes out, you could actually bring all that part data instantly back into your quote package with no data entry for up to 8 quotes. So imagine what you guys could do with that time and the fresh thinking and the ideas that you could share amongst your business. So just like to share that with you today. Any questions, come and see me later for drinks. But thank you for your time.
Thank you.